There are two kinds of people in this world, the living and the dead. But June and Jennifer Gibbons didn't fit into either category. They breathed at the same time, they walked at the same time, and they fell silent at the exact same time. They created a world for themselves where no third person was allowed, not even their own parents. People called them the silent twins. But they weren't silent. They just refused to talk to us. Their bond was so deep that it wasn't love. It became a curse. "We are two souls in one body," Jennifer wrote in her diary. "But for one of us to be free, the other must die." This is not just a story of twin sisters. This is the story of a pact that was only broken by death. 1963, a small town in Wales. This is where they first opened their eyes. From childhood, June and Jennifer were different from other children. They didn't play, they only observed. In school, teachers noticed they never answered a single question. Their minds were locked. When people tried to separate them, they didn't scream. They turned into stone. Doctors called it elective mutism. It meant they could speak, but they chose not to. But in the darkness of the night, strange sounds came from their room. They had built their own universe, a world where American radio played, and they played strange games with their dolls. But these games weren't innocent. They were rehearsals for the disaster to come. Time passed. They grew from children into teenagers. But their silence remained the same. At the age of 18, they felt a desire for the first time. Love. They liked the American boys, the ones who had recently moved to town. But because of their strange behavior, they were only met with rejection. This rejection set a fire inside them. They decided if the world wouldn't give them love, they would take it by force. They started writing thousands of pages of diaries, novels, and stories. Their stories weren't normal. They were dark, filled with violence and crime. They published their book, The Pepsi Cola Addict. They hoped for fame, but no one wanted to read them. Once again, there was only silence. When the pen failed, they reached for the matches. If we cannot be famous, we will be infamous. They started with petty theft. Then they began setting shops on fire. 5 weeks, 5 major fires. The entire town lived in fear. But June and Jennifer weren't running. They would stand there, watching the buildings burn. It didn't take the police long to find them. They wanted to be caught. When the police arrested them, they didn't cry. They were smiling. In the police station, their diaries were found. They contained every detail of every crime. They thought jail would bring them fame. But the judge made a different decision. Don't send them to prison. Send them to Broadmoor Mental Hospital. Broadmoor, where England's most dangerous psychopaths were kept. Serial killers, rapists. Here, they received a punishment worse than death. They were separated. 11 years. They stayed in that hell for 11 years. The heavy medication numbed their brains. They could no longer even write. But their pact was still alive. Jennifer told June, "We will never get out of here alive unless one of us dies." March 1993. They were finally about to be freed. They were being transferred to another hospital. But before getting on the bus, Jennifer whispered something in June's ear. "Finally, I am going to be free." The bus started moving, and Jennifer placed her head on June's shoulder. When the bus stopped, Jennifer didn't wake up. There was silence in the bus. The guards tried to wake her. "Get up," they said. But she didn't move. Her body had turned cold. At the age of 29, Jennifer Gibbons was dead. The doctors were baffled. They performed an autopsy. They expected to find poison. But the report shocked everyone. There were no drugs in her system, no poison. The cause of death was acute myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart. Jennifer's heart had simply stopped, as if she had decided it was time to let go. June, who never breathed without Jennifer, was now alone. But then, a miracle happened. June started talking. "I am free," she said. "Jennifer gave her life so that I could have mine back." June wrote the final words Jennifer said before dying in her diary. Today, June lives a normal life. She meets people, she laughs. But every Sunday, she goes to Jennifer's grave. An inscription is written on the headstone, a poem written by June herself. Was it just a coincidence? Or was there truly a connection between two souls that science cannot understand? The story of the silent twins makes us wonder how thin the line is between love and madness. Jennifer is gone. But is she really gone?